What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Now, this is like what, the fourth, maybe third. I don't know how many. I ain't keeping track anymore. But damn, these Pokemon news is ridiculous. They keep dropping stuff. So if you've been sleeping under a rock, we are about a month away from Pokemon Sword and Shield, and all I gotta say to that is, it's time flies. Trust me, time flies. A lot of things has been happening, and a lot of stuff has been coming out. And all I can say is, yo, that's dope. I can't wait to get a hold of this game. But I woke up this morning and I seen the news that I guess there's an embargo that companies put on their games when they fly people out to play the actual games, that they cannot talk about the game at that until they lift the embargo. So like, for instance, I've been following a whole bunch of WWE 2K stuff recently, and they have an embargo on certain stuff the creators can talk about and or put out. And now the guys have been putting out stuff for, like, the 2K showcase and all that stuff. But we're not talking about the wrestling game. I'm just telling you what an embargo is, and what the gaming community does to when they don't want too much stuff being said or talked about or leaked out. I mean, Pokemon really don't need an embargo. Half of the shit that they didn't put out in the past couple months have been leaked out onto that one Ben Affleck leak. That's what it's called, the Ben Affleck leak. And yeah. So this morning I woke up and happened to see that they have did a 90-minute playthrough of the beginning of the Pokemon game. Now they don't have like live like gameplay of them playing the game, but they do at least have some people talking about the game. So I brought up an article from the Verge, and I'm gonna read this article off to y'all, well, bits and pieces of it, and put my little twist to it so y'all can understand what it's all said. So the article goes as follows: Pokemon Sword and Shield's opening is a mix of nostalgia and innovation. It may not appeal to diehard fans like me, but it's shaping up to be a bold step forward for the series. Now, I'm gonna say this before I get any further into this article. I'm a Pokemon fan through and through. It doesn't matter. As long as they drop a game and it's worth playing, I will play it. I played Sun and Moon. I didn't play Ultra Sun and Moon because I didn't like Ultra Sun and Moon. I didn't like Sun and Moon at all. But all the other games, I buy these games and I play them. So the sole purpose of the fact, I tell people that, yes, I played this game. Yes, I remember this part. Yes, I've beaten the game. I might play competitively here and now and then, but I really don't keep Pokemon games that long. I usually just play them, beat them maybe once or twice. The third time around, I'm pretty much trying to, I guess, max out certain stuff and how I want my Pokemon to be. So like, usually the first playthrough is like to figure out the story, just go nuts, go crazy, act like I don't know what the hell I'm doing in the game, so on and so forth. The second playthrough is like, all right, go and do what I didn't do in the first game, on the first go around, try to, perfect it. By the third time, I start the game over, restart it, and play it again. By the third time, I perfected it and be all like, okay, this is my, my diehard team right here. This is what I do. I do that with all Pokemon games. I usually transfer one Pokemon from one set of Pokemon to another game, and so on and so forth. They still haven't talked about Pokemon Home yet, but back to this 90-minute gameplay. If you never played a Pokemon game before, you'll be forgiven for thinking the opening 30 minutes of the series latest installment Sword and Shield were those of a standard Japanese role-playing game. So what I've been hearing is people are comparing it to Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. And once I read that, I'm like, oh, I love Final Fantasy. I kind of like Dragon Quest. That's hot. It's cool. That's dope. There's a flashy cutscene that introduces the game's most powerful Pokemon trainer, Leon, alongside a gigantic stadium in the New Galar region. Now, if you, like I said, you've been sleeping under the rock, there's gonna be, battles that are held in the stadium, like a soccer field. And Pokemon really should have been doing that right off the rip, but sadly they didn't. They just started doing it. So I feel that this is gonna be a little nice change to Pokemon battles. They're treating it like it's a sport. where Pokemon battling is paramount to the culture, and trainers are treated like a cross between pop stars and athletes. So picture like athletes nowadays, like LeBron James. We're gonna use LeBron James as a I guess as my example. So LeBron James is seen, he is a popular basketball player. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Come on, here's a meme out there that's based on, it goes LeBron James, that kind of thing. But he is an athlete. He's been played for multiple teams, but we also see him as a cultural figure and an icon too, because outside of the NBA, he does other stuff. So I'm pretty sure that's what they're trying to do with, these characters in this Pokemon game, which is a nice touch to it, because it's really diving on the sports aspect of this Pokemon game, instead of just doing all go battle 8 gyms, Pokemon League, there you're done. And there's also a new transformation on display early on called a Dynamax that renders the once cute pocket monster as an enormous skyscraper-sized fighters. It's a scene of scale we've never seen in Pokemon games before, and it helps really drive home the top-down pixel art days are long gone. So pretty much what they're saying is, you remember the little pixels that you used to get, like in Pokemon, I think it was Red, Blue, Gold, Silver, before they went 3D. I'll just put it like that. Those are long gone now. We are here on Switch home console. I also heard, and this when I heard them say this was lit. They say you can use the Pro Controller. Once I heard that, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah! I know I'm gonna get more bang for my buck playing this game. It's really something that I feel that I'm gonna be playing for a very long time. The opening hour of Sword and Shield feels like a traditional JRPG. If you know what a JRPG is, pretty much a Japanese role-playing game. That's pretty much what it is. It's just a role-playing game, but Japanese. From the opening sequence, you drop into a customization screen to create your protagonist. Pretty much just like how in Sun and Moon, you got to customize your character, or how in Pokemon Go, you got to customize your character on your phone. And the same thing with Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. I only played Let's Go Pikachu once and played it through, left it alone. I was bored with the game. Like I said, from the opening sequence, you drop down into a customization screen to create your protagonist, who lives in a stereotypical small town, harbors ambitions to see the world. There is no professor to meet and no grumpy rival that you face off with from the get-go. As in classic Pokemon games, instead you are giving your starter Pokemon from Leon. So instead of getting a Pokemon from the professor, they switched it up and they said, here, the champion's gonna give you your Pokemon this time. Now I do miss the grumpy rivals, Blue. I really love Silver. Silver will always be my favorite rival, because you really wanted to beat that nigga ass. Like, he wanted to smoke. You wanted to smoke. Every time you see him, I was like, hey, yo, let's go. Let's do it. So I really miss that. And hopefully Bede or Marnie, hopefully one of the two, hopefully they're going to be that grumpy rival that you want so badly. And it's cool to see Leon actually giving you one of your Pokemon, who just happens to be older brother of your best friend, Hop. Hopefully we can change his name. I miss changing a rival's name, because Hop is not a name I'm gonna be fucking with, y'all. I'm sorry. Leon is the role model you'll both be chasing after as you set off to collect gym badges. There you go. Confirmation. Gym badges. I thought it was gonna be something else. Like some people said it was gonna be promotion points or some shit like a promotion or endorsement. But right here it says gym badges, so I don't know. And he acts much like a guiding light in your quest to become the region's best trainer, aka I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a douchebag. By the time the more strong you get, the more hostile the dude probably might get. So that's just me. You also have a chance run in with a powerful Pokemon of ancient legend. Now it didn't say Zamazenta or Zacian. They didn't say either one of the two. So that means maybe there's another Pokemon. Just like how in Diamond and Pearl. Diamond and Pearl probably had a lot of legendary Pokemon in that game, because they had, you had Galaga Palkia, you had the three lake spirits, you had Heatran, you had Giratina, you had the little duck Pokemon, Cresselia. So they had a shit ton of legendary Pokemon, or mystical Pokemon if you want to call them, that were kind of roaming around in those areas. So this is something I am looking very, very forward to seeing if they do have, because I really want to see that alien Pokemon everybody been talking about, setting up a fateful meeting far down the line in the narrative. So it's gonna be more than one legendary Pokemon. It's probably gonna be like how you met Tapu Koko in Sun and Moon. the original. I think you met Tapu Koko no Sun. I don't know. I didn't play. It feels like a proper opening to an adventure RPG that just so happens to involve tiny, emotive creatures you capture. I don't know why they put that there. Train and battle. In the course of my 90 minutes, they're my 90 minutes, not mine, with the opening sequence of Shield earlier this month on a dock switch at Nintendo's Bay Area office, I was surprised at how often it felt like I was playing not a Pokemon game, but something more like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. That should get you to want to be like, maybe we were bitching about a little bit too much. We maybe should have just kept waiting and waiting. Maybe more news. I'm not tripping about the national decks. Like I said, I never could complete the national decks anyway, so I didn't really care. Of course, most people playing Sword and Shield will have played Pokemon game before, and they will recognize the ways these games are holding onto tradition and breaking from it. But that hasn't stopped developers Game Freak from experimenting with the standard formula and trying to make the game both accessible to new players and as fresh as possible for the fans. The results is a mix of, I guess, refining nods to the classic Pokemon, the 3 starters for instance, and the quest for the gym badges. Come on. Who doesn't love the starter Pokemon and the gym badges? I love gym badges. I love the gym battles all together. It makes you feel like you're really doing something. It makes you feel like that, all that training, all that grinding you did. I remember my little brother, he'll start off Diamond and Pearl. He'll get a starter, and by the time he even makes it to the first gym, like he wouldn't even he'll get his starter Pokemon, then he'll go meet the professor. By the time he goes see the professor, his starter Pokemon will already be in the second stage, and it's crazy. Like, that type of grinding, I miss that, and that's what we're getting back to. Because really, Sun and Moon, you could do that, but then you don't know when the first island trial was coming, so it was whatever. And pretty surprising new features and approaches to storytelling, like the increased focus on narrative in the new open world areas. Sorry guys, and there's a dog barking in the background. Don't pay no mind to that dog. But so pretty much what they're saying is there's an open world. And a lot of people been asking, can we get an open world Pokemon game? I mean, define open world. Like, is there, how I put it is, when is it too much of an open world? If you get what I'm saying. Like, for instance, Grand Theft Auto. That's an open world game. You can go to 3 different parts. There's always 3 different parts in a Grand Theft Auto game. You got the city that you start off in, and so on and so forth. But when is it too much? From what I've seen from the map, it looks decent enough size. Because even open world games can be boring because you're too busy traveling from one spot to another. If you ain't got the quick pass to get you back and forth. So, or think of Spider-Man. The recent Spider-Man game that came out for PS4. So you really got to think about how big do you want an open world to be. Game Freak knows it has a die-hard fan base. Just look at the National Dex controversy that erupted earlier this year. Yeah, but the fucking crybabies. These are players that will spot every reference and obsess over every new bit of lore, but also criticize every detail and take the studio to task for not delivering on their promises or scrutinize the somewhat dubious responsibilities that the community believes the developers has to deliver something. And that's the thing. Reading this here, they talking about how developers has to deliver something both groundbreaking and nostalgia. Sometimes you can't do both. Have you ever heard of the thing that's too much of a good thing? Like, what if they gave us everything in one game? What can they do for the next game? You know what I'm saying? So you can have some groundbreaking stuff, like for instance the whole Dynamax thing. Okay, cool. Probably the reason why they didn't bring back evolutions because everybody loves making evolutions. So maybe when we make another game, we can bring it back. Let's try some other stuff first. Then we'll go back to the whole mega evolutions or the Z moves, or if they do Dynamax again after this. We'll have to see. You just can't always get it every game. Like, they're just trying new things every game. The community believes that developers has to deliver something both groundbreaking and nostalgic at the same time, and there is a lot riding on Sword and Shield. They're the first mainline Pokemon games for the Nintendo Switch. Technically, if you want to say Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, to me they're mainline games because they play just like the other Pokemon games. Breaking with a 23-year tradition of releasing core titles on portable-only consoles, starting first with Red and Blue on the Game Boy. Technically, the Switch is a portable game. I usually play my game on the TV, but if somebody's watching TV in my room and all that stuff, or if I want to watch something while playing the game, I just take it off the dock. And that's the one thing I love about my Switch. That's why it was just a must-get console. Yet Game Freak has set out to create a new version of Pokemon that straddles the line. Straddles the line between one, old, and new in many of the same way Sun and Moon did. Sun and Moon wasn't even that good, so I wouldn't even compare it to Sun and Moon. With the added benefits of the Switch that let it double as a console and a handheld. In my time with Shield, first hour, not my time, the person that made this article, in this first hour and a half, it's already apparent that these games, which come out November 15th, a month away, mark a bold step forward for Pokemon, even if they might not do enough to appease the crowd of fans that just want more of the same with the better graphics. After hearing I would be playing the game from the start, I went into my demo a bit worried. Most Pokemon games started off slow and predictable with the standard tutorials and a lot of the time spent wandering around tall grasses so you can catch backup Pokemon or train your starter enough to take on the first gym leader. None of that really happened. I did catch some new adorable Pokemon, and I did pick the Weeping Sobble as my starter, who wouldn't dare choose another. But I spent a lot of my time just exploring the world and really getting to know various characters and the tone of Game Freak's setting with Sword and Shield. Everything feels lighthearted and adventurous, like you're playing the Pokemon anime come to life. Even little touches like the crowd that flocks to Leon in the first stop away from the home to gawk at his powerful Charizard, because Charizard's overrated, help make this feel like a realized world instead of a giant collection of a game with some light RPG systems layered on top of it. And pretty much he just gawks over more of the game. He talked about the Gigantamaxing Pokemon that I talked about in my last video. Giganta and Dynamaxing are designed to appeal to hardcore players, which to me I really don't care, because that Meowth looks like like somebody just tried to, like, little kids grab the arm, like one grabbed the arms and one grabbed the legs, and they just pulled, playing tug of war, and he just turned out to look like that. He looks like a dick, to be honest with you. If you really look at him, like a really skinny penis, which is no homo, but that's what he kind of looks like. But this is obviously Game Freak's gift to the hardcore community, even if it does look gimmicky, which it really does. But these past Pokemon games have been a lot of gimmicks, and so ain't really nothing new. The studio wants Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon to add depth to the battle system, which they did. Because Eevee and Pikachu's special abilities, their G-Max moves, are really cool. Because Pikachu, everybody on the field gets paralyzed. It doesn't even matter if you're immune to thunder moves. You're getting paralyzed. So I thought that was pretty dope. Eevee just got, if it's facing the opposite gender, it just, gets horny. I mean, it gets infatuated with the Eevee. So really, that's nothing new. I mean, he can do that normal size. But something to really strive for and collect once the main story is over. I don't know how important these forms are to the narrative, but it seems like casuals, and I guess newer players will like Gigantamax and Dynamaxing will likely play a part for the longtime fans. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Dynamax and Gigantamax are going to play a part. Cause I'm pretty sure, I think that the legendaries that's on the box art are going to have Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing forms. And if they do, that'll be dope as fuck. I felt like they should have did, the legendaries from Alola. Each legendary should have their own special type of Z move, which I think they do. But remember, I didn't play it. So I felt like X and Y, those legendaries should have had Mega Evolutions as well. They're the legends, and this is where y'all announced, Mega Evolutions. So I felt like any legendary Pokemon in that game should have got a Mega. So this right here is your way to, I guess, try to bring, like, right the wrongs of past games. Because this Tornadus Pokemon they keep talking about, he should have a Gigantamax or a Dynamax, whatever. Say that he is the reason why Gigantamax and Dynamax is here in the first place, just like the whole, Mega Evolution things. The stones, I think they said the stones fell out of the sky or something like that. But I can't say for sure whether Sword and Shield will appeal to the new casual players, like those that have only played the Let's Go varieties, which were ass. Just like I can't rely can't reliable predict whether the hardcore fan base will continue to be frustrated with Game Freak's refusal to combine every other game's Pokédex into this one. I mean, like I said, it's really not that big of a deal. You're just gonna have a bunch of crybabies crying over some stuff that doesn't really make sense. But as a pure experience, Sword and Shield seems fresh and new enough to have me interested as a lapsed Pokemon fan. It feels like an all-new take on a classic formula with enough of the original magic of the portable games to conquer old memories and enough innovative RPG designs and storytelling to help me ease back into what can be quite formidable and complicated series. That's a good sign in my books. Plus, I'm already dreaming about getting my hands on the Gigantamax Charizard. So that was pretty much the whole article. I skipped over some stuff because he was just, just hammering on about certain stuff that, most of us really don't care for. He talked about the cute Pokemon. He talked about in another article they said something about a Wooloo and all that stuff. But guys, that's all I got. I'm gonna give y'all the TBH, the to be honest, of Pokemon Sword and Shield right before the game comes out, like a couple days before the game comes out. Be looking out for the 2K20 TBH this week, but like I said, it's starting to shape up to be a good game. I'm a diehard fan. I'll play any main core Pokemon game to this day. It makes me look childish, but hey, I don't care. Hey, look, when you become grown, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But at the same time, though, I'm Lucci. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Even though we've been down this road, and I know it's far from flawless, you'll be coming home regardless.